Welcome to Horns High Studios. I'm recording this for you on New Year's Eve of 2023, heading into 2024. And I wanted to say thanks to all of you for watching the videos I post on this channel and leaving some really great comments, kind of generating those ideas. It was kind of what I was hoping for, a little back and forth between us, and I do appreciate those of you that participate. I read and respond to as many of them as I possibly can. And we don't have to agree all the time, but we can have a civil discussion about the topics that are being discussed. So if that's not your thing, then move on to something else, because I'd rather not have you involved if you don't want to be civil about it. Now, I had somebody, and I know there's trolls out there, but I had someone make this really dumb comment on one of the videos about me not being a real veteran, because I mentioned that I was a veteran. I was probably in the Brent Kopaka video, and said that I wasn't a real veteran because I didn't serve during a war or in a war. I served during Desert Storm. And I didn't have to go over there because the war was over with by the time I got done with all my training. But I am a disabled vet, and I think the VA would consider me a real veteran. So I'll just leave that there. I have seen some comments, too, about me just doing these videos just for clicks, just for the money, and all of that kind of thing. Well, I haven't earned anything yet on YouTube. And that's just not the case with me. I mean, I'm semi-retired. I am not doing this for that reason. I'm doing this just to talk about something that I enjoy talking about and throwing around ideas with people that agree with the subject matter, that are interested in true crime, just like I am. The Idaho 4 case is really baffling to a lot of us, and I think that's why we enjoy talking about it. There's just a lot to talk about with this story, and I'm going to continue to do that. Now, speaking of the story, some of you may know that I'm a fiction author as well as a podcaster. I've been an author for over 40 years, and I like to write thrillers and horror short stories and novels. So I have a very creative mind, and I do enjoy taking little morsels of information and trying to create plausible theories about how some of this stuff went down. We know with the gag order on Idaho 4, that's really all we can do at this point. And I think those of us that watch this kind of content, that's what you come here for. So that's where I'm coming from with that. I am one of the hosts of the Murder Metal Mayhem podcast. I've told you guys about that, and I've been doing that every week since April of 2018. We talk about true crime cases, but most of them are closed and over with when we're covering them. I do write and produce the podcast. It's a lot different than the way I do the videos I've been posting in our 666 seconds videos. So it may not be your thing, but check it out. We're on most every platform that's out there, or on our website, murdermetalmayhem.com. Now, speaking of the 666 thing, I see a lot of comments about this on the videos, and I kind of laugh because I'm a metalhead. I mean, you guys know that from watching these videos. I'm usually wearing heavy metal t-shirts. And the 666 thing is a thing from back in the 80s, during that satanic panic era, and Tipper Gore and the PMRC and putting warning labels on albums. And it's more of just kind of a flipping the bird to that whole thing. So it's not meant to be anything serious. I'm not a Satanist. I'm just having a little bit of fun with something that metalheads find funny. So that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. I plan on doing some live videos here coming up in 2024. I have reached out and got in touch with Lucky from Unfiltered Lucky, and he's going to do some lives with me, or at least one. We're going to do an interview here coming up soon. So I look forward to doing that with him. I have reached out to some of the other content creators, several I'm sure you all are very, very familiar with, and hoping that they'll be interested in collaborating with me as well. I like doing interviews. We actually have several interviews on the channel with some really interesting people like Dr. Catherine Ramsland, who was, of course, brought up when Brian Kohberger got arrested because she was one of his professors at DeSales. I did an interview with her in 2019 and another one in 2020. Also did an interview with Nico Clos, the vampire of Paris, a very fascinating individual, and we did an interview with him. So there's some other content on the channel if you haven't already seen that, and there is some murder segments, or what we call our murder segment of the podcast, where we talk about true crime, and there's some of those on there as well. So there's other content on the channel if you haven't already seen that, but I would like to do some live videos coming up here this next year and do more interviews with some of the other content creators. I think it would be cool to talk to them about what makes them do what they do. Some are more forthcoming than others about, what their motivations are. So I'd love to hear from some of them, and I'm sure you would too. So I hope you guys have a safe and happy New Year's Eve, and here's to a great 2024, and I'll see you guys in the next video.